See my screen okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome, great, okay. Well, my name is David Beats, and I'm here to tell you about Planned Grocery, the only platform on the market today that gives you amazing insight into the current nationwide grocery expansion in the United States. I'd also like to thank Michael Beckerman and the CRE Tech Group for including us today. So what I'd like to do is take you through the platform, and I'll go over and show you guys what the problem is that we're trying to solve by creating this platform. And then I'll demo our current product and talk a little bit about how we do our data research. And then next, I'll show you some screenshots of our iOS app that gives mobile users access to our data. And then we'll show a preview of our version 2 of the platform that's in the works, and then conclude with any questions. And I'll be on the lookout for any questions while we're going along the way. And just to tell you a little bit about us and our background, we're composed of 3 founders that used to work together in the grocery, I guess, grocery anchored development business, where we were mostly focused on kind of the East Coast, and worked for a very large developer and did a lot of research in different markets, looking at site selection and gathering data in the markets, and really using that data to help present a case as to why a grocery chain or a grocery store should go in any particular location. So we started this business about 5 years ago, and at the time we were really focused on location research and marketing, and it's really morphed into more of this planned grocery application that we launched in January of last year, and since then we've added 43 companies using the platform. We have combined about 175 users a month spread out between those companies. So what I'll do is next go ahead and show you, kind of tell a little bit about why we created this platform. So we've discovered that a lot of people are really interested in where grocery stores are planned and proposed, and this is something that a lot of the grocery retailers do this research. We know that real estate developers and shopping center owners do this research. Investment companies, hedge fund companies do this kind of research all the time, just trying to figure out really who is going where, and kind of what are the timelines for when new stores will come online. So we started, basically researching this data, and we actually worked on this database for about 2 years before we launched the application, and started having clients use the platform. So what I will do here is jump in and show a demo here of what the application looks like. And let me get out of this here. All right, so here is the application, and what you see here is a map of the United States, and every logo on the platform is a grocery store that is either proposed, planned, under construction, or built within the last 6 months. So, so we have this interactive map here, and you can zoom in on a location. And let's just zoom in on Charlotte, for example. And these numbers will update at the top, saying that within this map view, we have a certain amount of stores that are proposed, planned, under construction, and then recently built. And so we can look at each one and get some basic information here. Let's see. I'm not sharing. Let me check. let's see. All right, let me switch my share here. Just a second. All right, so here we go. Let me do a refresh here. All right, so here's our map. Hopefully everybody can see that now. And what we will do is zoom in to, let's zoom in Charlotte here. And from here, every single point in the database is linked to some kind of public news source. So, we don't, we don't put any points in there that are rumored or, just that we think something might happen. Every single point has some kind of public news source. And a lot of times that is a news article. Sometimes it will be a property transaction, like we know that Publix purchased this location, I think at the end of 2016. And so we were able to find out about that and link to actually the property transaction. And then also we have other different articles, source articles that show, why we put that point into the system. So also you can, let's zoom into an area here. And so you can also turn on aerial and look at it that way. Let's zoom in, let's get over here a little bit. And so, this is an active area with actually a couple different grocery stores planned in that area. So we have, we also have the ability to change the maps around here, and it's that just to be able to see it in a different way. Now, a couple other things that we have in this platform, we have the ability to look at demographics here, and so this is average household income, and if we look at the legend down here, we'll see that the darker the area is, the higher the income. And we'll zoom out a little bit more. And so we see in Charlotte, there's this kind of big path of higher incomes kind of in South Charlotte. And then we also can look at 5-year population growth, where the darker the area, the higher the growth. We have population density, and you can see kind of where the darker areas where there are more people living closer together. And then we also have tapestry, where we can look at different, basically socioeconomic clustering of different people, and you can get different information on those neighborhoods. And for example, the orange area is affluent estates, and we kind of saw that with the income that we looked at earlier. And so that just helps us kind of understand, different markets and kind of what's going on where. We also have some basic measuring tools in the platform, where if you want to, measure a site, for the acreage, or see the distance, that something is from, maybe another store to another store, you can do that. And then this is what it's like if you want to do, an area. You can also, in the platform, you can grab a latitude and longitude, and then throw that into Google Maps if you wanted to see that exact location. And then we also, so this is the layers on here, where you can turn these layers on and off. And then you can also filter it, say that you only want to see, locations that are proposed or planned. You can do that as well. And so let's take a look at that. I'm going to zoom back out, and we'll take a look at, let's say, maybe Publix, and then we'll also look at their existing locations. So let's zoom out here, and then let's say that we only want to, let's turn these all off, and then say that we only want to look at Publix here. All right, so all of these locations are either planned, proposed, planned, under construction, or built within the last 6 months. So another thing that we can do is say, okay, well, I know that. So now let's look at the existing locations. And so we can scroll down here a little bit and say, let me bring up Publix here. And so here are the existing locations. So if you're a Publix developer, you can kind of tell where their existing locations are. Logos are things that are planned, proposed, under construction, recently built, and it just helps you to be able to kind of do some gap analysis and do some planning on maybe where you think they're going to go next, and start maybe securing sites kind of in their path of where they're headed to. So the data, the existing location, so anything with a logo is data that we create ourselves, and we create that data by doing lots of different research. We're updating this platform almost every day in some way, either auditing, updating existing locations in the platform, or adding new locations. So if we look at here, we have a, we have a recently added tab, and actually latest items. And so you can see here the latest items that have been added to the database. And so these are brand new points that we've added in the database, and we can zoom in on those and kind of learn more information. We can also turn on counties and core-based statistical areas. We have a couple other layers in here, and I'll zoom in and show traffic counts. But one layer that we have here is called dead deals. And so I will turn off the latitude and longitude here. And dead deals is, let's say that we've been tracking a planned grocery point or a development, and then we get an article that says that it's basically not, that project is not going to move forward. Then we just flip that location into the dead deals category, and then it shows up in this separate layer right here. So we think that's really important because it helps you see who was trying to do what where, and as we track this data over time, it just helps you understand the market a little bit better, especially if you're focused on developing shopping centers. And so we really have three really primary clients. One would be the grocery retailers themselves, and then next we have shopping center developers, shopping center owners, and then our third bucket of clients are investment companies and hedge funds, and they use the platform just to see kind of how different grocery retailers are expanding, and to get an idea of how fast their stores are going to come online over time. So what I can do is, I'm just going to refresh this, and let's see, let me check here for let me check for any questions here. How many people, let's see, how many people are collecting and updating the database? We have Well, there's kind of three principals in the company, and then I would say, and George Day, he just walked in here. He does a lot of the work, mostly on the audits, I would say, and then I do a lot of audit work as well. And then we have probably three other part-time researchers that are also helping us to update the data. Let's see. Let me see if there's another question here. Where does the demographic data come from? So the demographic data comes from ESRI, and we are an Esri business partner, and we get that. And so the data is updated yearly, usually like in the summer or fall. So the demographic data that we have right now is 2017. And so let's see, one thing that I should show here regarding demographics, you can do some basic demographic analysis. So let's say that I wanted to do like a 3-mile ring. So I can do a 3-mile ring. I can get population, daytime population, average household income. We see what the dominant tapestry is segment here. And then we also see that a certain percentage of the population has at least a 4-year degree. And so we do have some basic information there, and then we can do that with drive times as well. So let's say I want to do a 12-minute drive time, and this doesn't have to be on one of these points. It can be anywhere on the map. And so we see our demographics there. So let's see, do you have alerts that tell users when a location changed status? We do not have an alert right now, but we are, and I'll show this in just a minute. I'll show a preview of our next version that we're getting ready to come out with. And right now, that is set up to send an email list of new points that we've added to the system, a daily email. And so we are working on a feature right now to let you customize that by county. And so you would get alerts whenever we add new locations into that county. And then hopefully maybe after that, we could talk about trying to work on an alert when something changes status. Let's see, is there a programmer list? Let's see, can we upload our own logos in the event some are outdated? I would say just let us know, if something's outdated, and we'll get that updated. Can we export data or integrate data? So yes, we can integrate data into other systems. We actually have a handful of clients where they are Esri clients, and we are streaming our data straight into their maps. And so, they don't have to log into, a separate interface. And so that is working really well. And then I think we even have maybe one client that's, one or two clients that are non-Esri using our API, but I'd have to check on that. Can you export data? You can at our highest level of pricing. You can export the data, but and that really, if you want to use that data, like within your company, we do have a setup to be able to for clients to be able to do that. And so we have a couple clients that are working with the raw data, in a couple different ways. Our pricing model is based on the number of users, and so pricing starts at $2,500 for the first user, and then it's an extra $750 per additional user, and so and that's a yearly fee, and then we go from there into some different higher level plans for bigger organizations, or companies that want the streaming plan, or companies that want the raw data plan. And the raw data plan does require a 3-year contract, and we'll be available. We're available to talk more about that, about those higher level plans. Are the exported maps vector based, or are they rasterized? You cannot export maps. We have the clients that are using the system right now will do different things and take screenshots, but we don't have an export set up yet. It is something that we're looking at, but right now it's really just more of a screen share. Is there a way to sort by each state? There is if you are on the highest level plan of the raw data export. You could export that. We could, if you're only interested in one state, we could talk to you about, some special pricing where you could only export, one state or two states or whatever. We're happy to, we're very flexible and we can definitely do some different things, to get you using the platform. So let me see if there's any other. All right, so what I'd like to do is just switch here, and I will go into an update of the second version of the platform. So get this out of the way. All right, so this is the Plan Grocery 2.0 version that we've been working hard on the last, especially Todd, who's here back behind me, has been working really hard on this the last couple months. And we're excited about this new version because we've incorporated a lot of things that we've learned from clients that have told us that, wouldn't it be great if you could do this or that, or, if this was faster, that kind of thing. So this is built on some new Esri technology. It's really fast. And one of the things that we're most excited about in this next version is the ability to have parcel data in the platform. So let's zoom in on an area here, and then you can bring up parcel data, and then I'll zoom in a little bit more here. And then there we have the parcel lines. And so this will be available in the next version. And then you can click on an area here and get the ownership information. So this will be available nationwide, whenever we have this second version completely finished. And then another thing that we have as well, as far as the email alerts, let's see, let me find it here, is that was that. There it is. All right. And right here, we've got a way to be able to do email updates where you get an email whenever we add, or that shows the daily batch of locations that we've added to the system. So really the big things right now in 2.0 are the parcels, the email alerts. Everything's going to be definitely faster here in the new system. And let's see, and then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, that's probably about it for version 2 right now. Any plans to cover additional countries is another question that we have. Not yet. Right now, we're just trying to have, the U.S. just done really well. And so maybe at some point, we would go out and do some other countries, but right now we just want to be laser focused on the U.S. And so let's see, plugins required, no plugins required, browser supported. I would say all major browsers, IE11, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari. So we have, all the major browsers are supported. Let's see, can we import our own shapefiles? No, not yet, but that is something that we are looking at. That's one of the next items on the agenda is to figure out, you know, how people can either, you know, maybe upload a shapefile, or maybe just have different layers where, you know, maybe people have, you know, sites, you know, that they want to develop, or other information that they're tracking, and then they would have those layers in there kind of by company. And so, so that is something that we are working on, you know, for down the road. And then we also do have an iOS app as well. And let's see, I'm just going to show you just the PowerPoint of this. And so this app is really blazing fast, and it comes with your subscription to Plan Grocery. So you download this on the Apple Store, and then your same login works for the iOS app. And so here's just a couple screenshots from that. And so, and all the data is, you know, consistent between the two platforms. I think that is probably about it for us. And I would just say, you know, if you want to get in touch with us, you know, definitely go to the website, just plangrocery.com. You know, we have a contact form there. Happy to get you set up. We do offer trial periods, and you know, would love to talk to you about that. And let's see, are there any other questions?
I think that's it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, David and team.
All right, thank you.
That